Oh, hey, it's over. Hi, hello. I'm over here balancing this. Anyway, so this is Gaming with the Side to Salt, episode 63, and we have lots of things to talk about today. And of course, over there is Meg. Over there is Chad, as always.
Backwards.
You know what? Just
Hi,
go
everybody.
with it.
I'm Meg. I hate Okami.
I don't hate Okami.
There we
I just
go.
think it's too long.
He hates
This is the game that needed to end like twice over.
Oh yeah,
She
no.
hates Asun. Get it right.
Oh no, I loathe Isun.
Isun's best waifu.
Ugh.
Asun will come back to the next game.
Ugh, I
Okami
hate
2.
him so
Asun.
much.
The Chronicles of Asun.
Revenge of Asun.
So, here we go. Meme of the day.
He was like the Jar Jar Binks of that game to me.
Meme of the day. OMG, video games are so violent. If you stand on the edge of a bridge, an NPC will beg you not to kill yourself.
Yeah, so violent, right?
I know, so violent, so violent. Oh, so what has Chad been doing?
I have been busy trying to fix all of this because I found out that... By the way, do you hear any buzzing when I'm talking, out of curiosity?
I don't know.
Okay.
I heard your fan when you first signed in.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
I got the fan on low and it's under the desk, so it shouldn't kick. But no, that was driving me crazy. Oh, wait!
I just assumed it was your fan because it sounded like a fan.
No, actually, I think it was.
I don't hear it now, so
I think it was me going like this,
yeah,
rubbing the mic.
He really likes his mic.
Yeah, I like
rubbing his mic.
No, I'm trying to find a place.
It sounds like something you'd do on a fan site.
No, I'm trying to find a good position for the mic so that's not in the shot, and then also not blocking my monitors. And then there's the whole idea that now that the mic is lower down, Rough Nut's gonna be like, ooh, something for me to chew on.
What's wrong with the mic being in the shot?
It bugs me.
Yeah, but all the cool podcasters have it in the shot.
Not we pink tubers. Yeah.
Well, I don't like it. So I like to have just me and the video game. That way people aren't...
What if people want to see your gigantic mic?
They got to go to OnlyFans for that.
Oh. Anyway, so we have lots of things to talk about. Anybody want to guess what we're going to talk about first?
Nintendo?
No.
I just figured, I just said that because like Nintendo's always...
I mean, there's plenty of Nintendo stuff in the back, so...
I'm getting so sick. I'm getting so sick of finding that shit.
Speaking of being sick of finding shit all the time, Meg, do you have any guess?
I don't.
All right, well, it's that time of week where we have to cope about Dragon Age again.
Why? Let it die.
Because why not?
Maybe.
Listen, right after we talked about this last week, this one dropped like the following day, and I was like, guys, really?
I saw this. It was like, wow,
really, guys. Mass Effect devs tried to save Dragon Age the Velguard, but might have just made things worse. No fucking shit. Like, we've talked about this in the past, where they had pulled people from Mass Effect or something, like who was working on like Mass Effect Andromeda or something like that shit back when they worked on it.
Real quick, I got to restart.
Okay,
and my
it's
stuff's
like,
out of sync.
That's not a thing to try and save your game with.
Yeah, I just don't know.
It was
so badly conceived. It was just ill conceived, and they started out. I think the thing is that I think they started out with the wrong mission. They started out to preach a message and to tell all of those Dragon Age people what they ought to feel about the world. And
normal.
People didn't like it. They were like, "Oh yeah, you don't live in a reality that we understand or agree with." So no.
But what's really great is the fact that this article goes on to tell us that the Dragon Age and Mass Effect teams did not get along at all. And what's really funny is the Dragon Age people who are still there are now working on the next Mass Effect game with the Mass Effect team. And it's
Oh,
like,
that's good.
why would you put them together willingly again?
Yeah, no,
Seems like a bad idea. You should just laid the whole team off at that point, not just a few of them.
yeah.
Or put them on a different project altogether.
If you're on, I mean, in the
Dustborn 2.
business world, you should be able to work with people that you don't necessarily like. But if you've seen that it's proven that that did not work out that way in the past, maybe don't do that again. That seems like a stupid idea. I mean, what do I know? But that seems like a dumb idea.
Oh, you just described HR departments in general. Dumb idea.
This is true.
HR departments just shouldn't exist.
They shouldn't. And that's something I said since I was in my 20s.
Well, yeah. So we're still coping over Dragon Age the Felguard, which is funny because now we've seen articles where they talk about how Dragon Age was a failure, and then talk about how Assassin's Creed was, knocked it out of the park. And it's like, you guys did like the same numbers. You do realize that, right?
Yeah.
There was no knocking it out of the park. Assassin's Creed was a certified failure too, guys.
Yeah.
But anyway,
let's be honest, though. The real failure is game journalism.
To continue with this scope, read this headline that somebody thought was was the way to go.
Dragon Age fans are apologizing. No, absolutely no Dragon Age fans are apologizing to the writers. No fans of Dragon Age. Now maybe Veilguard fans are apologizing to the Veilguard writers over Veilguard backlash. But no fan of actual Dragon Age, which are not Veilguard fans, are feeling even remotely sorry that they thought this was a garbage game. All right, that's it. I'm done. Go ahead. You can keep talking now.
No.
I was just the headline pissed me off. So go ahead. Let's expand on that.
Yeah, so let's expand on that. Somebody wrote a Reddit thread apologizing to the Velguard developers.
Yeah, it's probably the
got a lot of
developers
updates apparently. From the same kinds of people who didn't support it to begin with.
Oh, Reddit, because Reddit's real life.
Yeah, so Reddit, because somebody on Reddit was apologizing. We've made an article talking about how the fans are apologizing.
The real fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. The realest fans you'll ever.
Let's see. Let's not even get into the comments that went beyond any critiques of the game, as some attacked Belgard for having LGBTQ. Something it has had from the first game. When you write an article like this, does it not just like
I feel like they know
maybe, just maybe, they weren't attacking it because it had LGBTQ characters, considering this is the first real time it's been an issue.
Yeah.
It just maybe. When you have to write down something it's had since the first game to make it sound like it's irrational for them to be upset about it, it could be because they weren't upset about that to begin with.
So I'm not necessarily up on my Dragon Age gameplay. I've seen about maybe 13 hours of gameplay in total, not counting Belgard because I don't count that. But I know that there have been homosexual characters in there. I don't know if we've had any of the TQs in there.
They did it with Origins, I believe, and it was a stealth post-game, post-patch edit to a vendor that that everybody was forced to use for whatever it was. I forgot what it was exactly they had to use it for. But it was kind of like the stealth thing that they came in later and patched it because it was right around the time of everyone yelling, "We need more representation." Suddenly the character was talking about how they transitioned or some bullshit, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is this?" And they took umbrage with that. They really did. The fans took umbrage with that bit right there because it was the stealth thingy after the fact and was like, what the hell, guys? Why are you doing this? This is completely out of pocket. But aside from that, no, there hasn't been, as far as I can tell.
Yeah,
That has never actually
it's
been
the whole
explored.
gotta
There have
find
been
myself.
gays, there's been women commanders and things like that, and
Yeah,
stuff like, throughout the entire series.
yeah. It was the they them don't feel like a man, don't feel like a woman, whole trauma dumping sort of thing. Oh, it's because my mother wants me to wear dresses, kind of nonsense.
I mean,
Which again is kind of like this whole movement is so reductive because it's like, well, I don't like wearing dresses, so that doesn't make you not a female. It really doesn't. I
no,
can't stress
tomboys are a
enough.
thing for a reason.
We exist, okay? Pants
Yeah,
are
and so do
awesome.
cross dressers. So I don't think pants is what makes a tomboy either. But that's just me.
Yeah, it's just clothing. Here's the thing though. In the end, there's only one question you have to ask yourself when it comes to Failguard.
Why are you gay?
Everybody was gay. Like, they came out the boat and said absolutely everybody's bi here. It's just like, the world has ended, and you're going to tell me that, like, you somehow found that many bi people in one spot.
Like,
Somehow
see,
I
this
don't
is why the
believe
world
you.
is ending.
So, the world already ended for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, by the story, everything's been wiped out practically, but what little pocket they're in. But anyway, so nowadays, after an explosive report from Bloomberg claiming that EA was the cause of Felguard's development woes. Guys, Bloomberg, listen to me. Like, look me in the eyes right now, Bloomberg. Listen, we know EA is a shitty company. We have always known that EA is a shitty company. EA, I think, wins like the Golden Poo Award twice in a row at one point because they're such a shitty company. It is no secret to anybody that EA is the cause of EA's woes in everything gaming. Nor does it matter because the issues the Velgard had wasn't EA related. It was the writers.
Well, I mean, they did greenlight it, but
I mean,
That's
for the
true.
most part, it was the writers
But-
and the bad story and all this other stuff.
But EA is responsible for quality control and lack thereof.
Yeah, and it's not like it was that. It wasn't like it was a buggy mess or anything. EA did its part then.
Yeah.
But anyway, apparently Reddit user DJ Ray's essay 1995, because that adds some real grit to it, right? We know this guy was around on Reddit in 1995. Kicked
that
things
just makes me
off.
want to go Sweet Summer Child. Like, you know,
apologizing to some of those who worked on the Felguard, as many fans agree and echo the similar sentiment that EA was the cause of their Felguard's woes. And no, it wasn't.
No.
I'm sorry. It was an action game that was lackluster in that department to begin with. There was
Thought
the
it was-
whole...
I damn near thought it was a dating sim when I first saw it.
There was the whole out-of-pocket they-them bullshit that nobody really cared about.
well,
There was
people
the
just hated
the beating you over the head, pulling a barb, the fact that they just threw lure out the window like it didn't matter.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the they them stuff was just a part of it. The entire tone was not Dragon Age. It
Yeah.
really wasn't. It was Disney Marvel's take on Dragon Age for a child audience that they're trying to indoctrinate. That's what it felt like. Everybody was cheesy, everybody was corny, and honestly, a lot of people that I watched do playthroughs. So I watched several full playthroughs because I'm that kind of person.
Oh, you're a masochist.
I am. Well, I enjoy watching other people suffer, and all of those people suffered greatly
Status.
for my enjoyment, and I enjoyed it greatly. And they all kind of agreed that, you know, even though some of them were completionists and did all of the side quests, which allows your characters to live if you choose right, people were like, you know what, the best ending is literally if you let all these characters die because they suck. Because
Damn.
they're just terrible characters. They're just awful. You hate all of them. And it's not even that they're just all. I mean, Tosh, you kind of wanted to die because she was horrible. But
Yeah.
most of them were they were childish and annoying, and they didn't read like actual. Not
People.
They
even.
were also sanitized. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
as
felt like they were having.
sanitized as one can be, considering they had what what they could have done with some of these people, and they just sanitized them to the point that it's like, okay.
Well, they
Use
all felt
this.
modern, and they all felt like you were talking to someone who had some sort of trauma that they really should have been an adult and gotten over, and but they were trying to talk it through and trying to be like, I'm okay, because HR was in the room. So it all felt it felt sanitized, but it felt like it was supposed to be more traumatizing. But somehow it was just weird, and everybody was mopey and not an adult. It was very make stoicism great again sort of thing, like nobody felt as stoic as they ought to be. There was
Yeah.
one character that was kind of stoic, but even he whittled little figurines, and I was like, that's the thing, everybody had to have like a cute little kitsch about them. One guy, he's like an assassin, but he loves coffee, so he's always talking
Yeah,
about
see,
coffee, and I'm
that
like,
was the
why is
guy that
everybody so freaking
they
quirky?
sanitized him so much. It was just like, the dude's a fucking assassin. You could
He's an
work with
assassin
this.
who has a demon living inside of him.
He should be talking about fucking assassin shit,
I
not
mean,
not
shit. These
coffee
people,
flavors.
the people who wrote him, needs to really go look at Baldur's Gate 3 and take a look at Karlach. If they, because they could have done a lot better if they had modeled him after her, because
I think,
she has an infernal engine for a heart that
yeah.
has permanently set her on fire, practically burning to the touch, and then she gets heated and explodes and will curse you out, go on a rampage, slaughter everything if you let her go out of control. Meanwhile, we've got Assassin over here who's
Girl
just going to
after
sip
my
his
own heart.
coffee and not do anything brass.
Oh,
It
But
was everybody had to have a thing. We had the necromancer who was like a gentleman, and he was a bit of a dandy, and he had his little
dandy.
what was it? His little
And he got
manservant
upset
Manfred.
because he was called all these different names by Tav, and it's like,
Yeah,
really?
and he was afraid of death,
Really?
and he was everybody was quirky AF. It was ridiculous, and I was like, look. Let somebody have an edge, guys. I mean, it can happen. The adults aren't always like super quippy and chirpy and everything like that. They all felt weightless and unreal.
They were
Yeah.
too rounded.
Okay, like we should stop talking about this. Like,
Yeah, we should. But anyway, so that was our week in trying to cope with Dragon Age.
Go back to Velgard. Go back to Velgard.
Go back to
No, not this. That's fine. Look, I like this color palette more. This is just ugly. Ugh.
All right.
Modern
Bungie
year.
officially has delayed Marathon. I thought we already knew this. Why is this in the news cycle already?
I don't think we got. Did we report that last week? I thought that
No.
happened this week.
No, we didn't report it last week, but I thought this was like right after they did their public test or closed beta, alpha, whatever the hell it was. They put it, or they had put it in they delayed state. Like they canceled all the marketing, put it in delay state because their assets or their stilling of assets came about and stuff.
Yeah, so it wasn't official that they were delaying the game. We just knew that they were kind of putting a snooze on on a lot of the marketing, and the idea was maybe this is because they can't use a lot of the images that they have from this because they stole somebody's art style and they have to resolve that legal issue first. So that was actually like one of the theories that was out there. We didn't know if it was related to gameplay or what.
So we didn't really have a official delay.
Right.
Yeah,
thing.
we
This
just were really good at
it's
guessing.
delayed.
I don't even know if
We are really good at guessing that I'm mixing it up with like with the present, and I'm like, did we already do? No, we guessed that 3 months ago, and that was speculation. Oh, so now it's official. Who knew?
I don't even know if you call it speculation at this point. You're just like, we saw that this is totally what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is
Delayed
I
till
saw
September 23rd, by the way. The alpha test created an opportunity for us to collaborate and focus the game on what will be a unique, compelling survival nobody cares. We'll use this time to empower the team, blah, blah, blah. Our next few months will continue. Okay, nobody cares. All right. So it's delayed till September 23rd.
Everybody who cares, clap your hands. Yeah,
Oh, wait,
whatever.
no.
no, I honestly with that, I saw a post that piqued my interest because I thought it was a pretty good question to ask, pretty evenly toned. It was if you could change anything. Essentially, it was asking in a year's time, what ideas do you think would turn Marathon around? And pretty much everybody was like, change everything.
Well,
yeah.
okay. I think let's see. I don't know what one thing would be. There are some obvious problems. There are some obvious
Oh no, it
fixes.
didn't ask one thing. It's like if you could change anything, so you could like say a bunch of stuff. I did.
Okay, I would. I don't know if they can do that. If they could port over the ability to design your character how you want to. I would also make it so that even if you fail your mission, you still kind of can get some sort of progress on your character. So that way it doesn't feel like a wasted time. Because again, this whole looter shooter, well, extraction shooter sort of thing is such a niche audience. And I don't think this game is free. I think they're charging for it. So that's it's not necessarily like the best way to go forward. Um, I would want them to probably do a character creator because it's probably too. I don't know if there's too much time. It would take too much time to actually design characters that don't look like like Play-Doh clown creations. They're over designed. It's like people who are bored with the human form and think that people are boring. And I'm like, no, we kind of like people. We just want to make them attractive, and that's fine. So either let people design their own characters, just like they just port over what they have already for Destiny, or just remove some of the nonsense that they have on the characters that they do have. I would also remove some of that Play-Doh aesthetic. I would change the way that they're doing their rendering on this. And that would probably take the most time, honestly, of
Yeah,
all of those things.
I'll send this in the group chat. By the way, see ya.
But it just looks like Play-Doh. It looks like Play-Doh creatures running around. So it's visually unappealing. And then on top of that, you're in this world that doesn't really look that good. It moves well, but it's ugly. And then on top of all of that, you're losing, if you, get some guy who just decides to be like a lol troll and just raffle stomp people for no reason, you're going to lose all your progress repeatedly. So, that's those are like the main problems that I see with this. I mean, I'm not coming at this as somebody who totally loves FPS in the first place. I'm not coming at this as someone who would understand this, and I hate the aesthetic. But I mean, I'm just coming at it from like, I know what Bungie boys like just because of the fact that I'm married to one and I have bought him so many of the Bungie things for I mean, he has two of those 3D printed. Well, I bought him like those replica guns, which are awesome, by the way, and they're part of our living room decor because that's how we are. And I know, right?
Did you see the Needler one?
No, I haven't seen that.
Halo. Oh, it's like a full. It's like a full like you grab it. It wraps.
Are you talking about the Nerf gun?
Oh, that one.
No,
No.
this is a replica thing.
Oh, the replica need. Oh, I saw one of those then.
And it has like an LED in all the needles, so like when you hit the trigger, it lights up the LEDs.
Oh, that's
it's
pretty
so
cool.
sick. It is so sick.
Yeah, but he likes the text mechanical look a little bit more, like the what is it, Last Word,
Kind of like
Four Horsemen. Yeah, so those are like really cool. But the guns that he has are Ace of Spades and Last Word because they're just really good looking guns. Honestly, they're pretty cool looking, a little bit sophisticated, little bit darling. So that's kind of important. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just saying that this is such a departure that unless they have another audience that they already know is geared up to this, I don't see this bringing over the people that already love Bungie for what it has done in the past. This is such a departure, and it doesn't look the same, it doesn't feel the same, and the grind doesn't feel like it's necessarily worth it. It doesn't feel like you're building towards anything. In I'm not sure about in Halo, but I know that in Destiny and Destiny 2, you are constantly trying to build and get the best gun. You're doing all of this grinding for a reason, for a purpose, and the purpose is getting the best thing so that you can go and own the other character, own the other players in the Crucible. But
So
if you're just constantly starting over again, like in Fortnite, well, Fortnite already exists.
Well,
So
yeah, and Halo was an arena shooter. It was completely different than both.
yeah. Well, no,
what they
Destiny is not an arena shooter. It's got PvE and PvP.
No, I said
So-
Halo.
Oh yeah.
but I think they should have done a Halo. This is what they should have done with Marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I get they first did Marathon, right? And it was its thing. And then they started essentially, I guess, expanding on that, and that's what turned into Halo instead. I think they should have just went back to Marathon and started to expand its story, adding new lore, and Haloized it.
Yep.
Is that a word? That's a word today. Haloized it.
Your words
Anyway.
are today.
Yeah, I went on a
I
rant.
think that's
about
what they
this.
should have done with it. They should have given it a single player story, stuck with it, because they can do that. They've done it with Destiny and Destiny 2. Give it that single player story, give it multiplayer, give it the Forge treatment, put all the things that make Halo into it. People are going to go like, oh, this is like Halo. Oh, this is like Halo. And they're probably going to be more likely to play it. And
Yeah.
And honestly, that was the good parts of the trailer. Remember, we watched that whole trailer, and the interesting parts were literally the story. You're kind of going, "What's going on here? What's going on here?" And then you just find out it's just an extraction shooter, and who cares? Like, it doesn't really matter.
It's so far removed from the original Marathon lore that they're going to have to like lore dump you for 5 hours or something, or create a TV series or something just to lore dump you enough to figure out what the hell's even going on with this extraction shooter and why you should care about it.
Well, here's the thing. I took it from the perspective of somebody who hasn't played Marathon. I literally met my first foray into Bungie was Halo. And so all the recommendations I told you about that post, were pretty much based off of not playing the original Marathon and going, yeah, changed pretty much everything.
Well, as for me, I'm actually curious of what the lore is, right? Like, I want to know why they're there. What's up with that thing that they keep essentially like taking off of each other and putting on and saying things.
Well, it's
And
like
why
it has
it's there to
music in it,
begin
right?
with, and where's the rest of humanity? Right? Like, I am curious to know what that is, but because this is not a story-driven game, I also know none of that's going to really be explored properly ever.
Yeah.
Unless it's done through supplemental material or something, and I'm not going to go do that. This isn't Halo. I'm not that invested in it.
Exactly.
Halo, I went and I picked up something like The Fall of Reach and read the book, and then they made the game, and I was like, holy shit! And that was Halo.
Yeah,
right?
dude, that fan movie.
Marathon is not Halo, but you need to Haloize it because that is something Bungie's good at, and they may have lost Halo, but Halo, Bungie, I don't know if you've noticed, isn't doing so hot these days. You could capitalize on that, and instead you gave us a genre that barely anybody in the world even plays to begin with. And you think your current Destiny crowd is going to migrate to it. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's the most short-sighted part of all of it. Thinking that the Destiny crowd is going to go for this. It's not.
Yeah, it's more likely to go out. And your Destiny crowd, I think a lot of them probably came from Halo to begin with.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when Destiny kicked off, a lot of that was the old Halo players when they found out that they weren't going to do it, and 343 that made this really crappy Halo Wars game is now doing it. And it's like, really, guys?
I actually played all the way through Halo Wars. I wish I
Me
could have
too.
that
I
time
did it
back.
just because it was Halo,
Yeah.
and it was so bad for a RTS.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It could have been done so much better. And they're like, well, limitations, and it was done for the Xbox. It's like, I don't care. They've put Command and Conquer on like the freaking SNES or something back in the day, or the
PlayStation 1. Yeah.
PlayStation or something like that. They put it on an older console and it worked fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was janky, but it worked fine. There was no reason for this bullshit that they pulled with Halo Wars.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think they should have given it the Halo treatment. They should have expanded. They should have took like the lore of the first game, wrapped it up in a nice, pretty bow or something. Uh, did something with it where it's like practically the intro to Marathon as they launch this new game or something, so it can have like pretty little splash graphics or something telling the story of this Marine doing this, that, and the other, and stuff like that. Uh, you know, going through the first three games, because I think it was like three or maybe it was two. I don't remember. And kind of quick clipping it through that and then to present day. And then we could do something from there. I heard that, Chad.
I'll be
Something
right back.
fall?
Somebody trying to get in my apartment.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, if it ain't Joe, I think I would be a little worried.
Yeah. I
It's like,
just
click.
You did not see the text.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how
Hi,
you
Joe.
My,
He can't hear me.
No. I don't know how you take the intriguing part of the story that they had in the trailer, which I was somewhat invested in. I was like, I wasn't excited about it, but I was curious. It's kind of like
Yeah.
this morbid curiosity. I'm like, what happened? Oh my gosh, what's going on? What happened to all these people? And then you have these weird robotic things that look like they went through some sort of horrible process, and you're just like, well, what are these now? And I'm interested in that, but how you get from that to something that feels so frivolous, just like run and get loot and you're just a mercenary now. I'm like, well, this is just like this just sounds, I mean, honestly, the lore, the part that's actually interesting just sounds like it's something out of a fanfic or something. Or like,
Well, see,
it's like
it,
it's like reading the Halo novels, or something like that.
it makes
Because it
no
has like
sense.
nothing, but it has like nothing to do with the game. Like at least
Like-
the Halo novels had something to do with the game.
I vaguely remember Marathon. All right.
Yeah.
And the story behind that. Something about aliens, spaceship, our ship. I can't quite remember. It's vague. But, because it's been a very long time. But to go from that to this, it's just a myriad of questions that feel like will not ever be answered because of the type of game it is.
Yeah, it feels like it's not.
You know,
You wouldn't be
tell Joe I said hi.
rewarded. It feels like
She's
you wouldn't
already
be
she's already gone. She had to come back all the way from her mom's just to get her meds because she
Hear me. I said it when you got up. I was
Well,
like,
I didn't hear
Joe,
you.
tell her hi for me.
Yeah.
Text her, do something. Fine, do that way. Let me see. Hi, Joe. If you ever see this. No, but
Theo whines
seriously,
about you.
it's like, where do you go? How do you go from the original Marathon games to this? Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. I'm morbidly curious, like, why are they in these robotic avatars? Why do they keep getting put back in them every time they die? And naturally, I know why they can't remember things, because degradation is happening.
Mhm.
I mean, the mind is a powerful thing to keep uploading into a thing. You know, but why are they doing that? And where the hell is the rest of humanity at this point?
Yeah, it feels
And
like
I'm half expecting, if there is a story, because I'm sure they've got some half-ass story, somehow lore, that in reality what it is they're like some kind of, what? I can't read that. Oh,
Theo
Zio
says hi. He demands I text you.
Thank
There.
you. Oh, that's great. Anyway, like, I half expect the story to boil down to, oh, these are like criminals or something. So they've been given the choice of do X or death row kind of deal.
That's
And
what I.
in
So, like, Marksman
reality,
in the
it's being beamed as a TV show to the rest of everybody else. Yeah,
oh,
that
and
would be
those,
the
yeah.
lore kind of thing. Like it's Death Race, which
Mhm.
you know, but with guns and collecting loot and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're
But it feels
collecting the MacGuffin that they think is important, but it's really not. But because they keep dying, they don't remember the important bit that they're supposed to be doing this to get their freedom back. But in reality, they're just like what is it?
One
The
loop.
Hunger Games or something on
Yeah.
repeat for all
yeah.
infinity at this point with the
Well,
same people.
it feels like the game is honestly would be getting in the way of the story in that case. Because the game itself, like your objective each time feels frivolous. It doesn't feel like you're building up to something. It doesn't feel like you're trapped in anything. It just feels like you're running to go have fun and lol, shoot people. It feels like you're a merc, and that's fine. But if you give them somebody this kind of deep lore, this heavy sort of story, you kind of expect them to have pieces of that kind of seeps into their everyday life, like
Well,
this would be like if this was a movie, this would be what they were doing before they were recruited, and they seem like a well-rounded person, and then you start seeing the cracks, and that it's because of their horrible backstory, which you learn further on in the movie. This it feels like the game itself feels frivolous, in comparison to what the lore looks like it is. I was like, this lore feels heavy, and then they're like, run, shoot people, get the loot, you'll be the best. I'm like, I don't understand how this seems like nothing. Like,
it seems
You'll
like.
be a god.
Well, no,
yeah,
it seems like it's nihilism wrapped in pretty paper,
yeah, and that's what it is.
and
Most
and
type
that's
things, yeah.
where my, like, when the person that posted, what would you change about Marathon? I was like, first thing I said is strip out the nihilist bullshit, like
Yeah.
the repeated death. There's no weight to the game at all if death has no meaning.
Yeah.
Like, hell, bring it up, Zero. I'll go through the whole damn thing.
I already
Yeah.
had it
I
up
mean,
for a second.
even
So,
in
strip out the nihilistic bullshit. I know, a typo. Rewrite the background story to be more black and white. The good versus evil. This bucks the trend of morally gray slop. And my goodness, I am so sick of this fucking gray in between. No, good, evil, evil.
yeah.
Done. And
Like I said, I feel like if there's any story,
yeah,
it's gonna be like one of those this is a game show for people kind of thing, and these poor sods have been tricked into playing the game for the past 20 years, didn't even realize it.
Yeah, but the thing is that that's you, and that's you playing this game. So now you're this poor sod, and I'm like, well, so the actual story is way darker than that. This feels more interesting than what I'm playing, which again feels frivolous and empty, which is nihilistic. Like there's no point to life.
yeah.
You just live to get the loot,
And
basically.
Meg, your favorite part is probably the next part is probably the favorite thing that I wrote. Having a color palette that looks like a pride parade vomited on your game needs a complete redesign. I am 110% with Meg on this,
Mm.
shockingly. I cannot stand the bright colors. And here's the thing. Skip the PR thing, doesn't matter. The character designs are bland as garbage and look like bad cosplay. I literally looked at that like, oh, that looks like somebody who really messed up their cosplay costume.
Well, they didn't have a costume, and so they just took everything that they found in their closet and put it on.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah,
And they're
and
claiming it's punk of some kind.
Yeah,
and
because they're bored with human beauty. They
here's the
really
thing.
are.
If these are robots, if they're robots, they should make them realistic humanoids. And as they take damage, more of the robotic endoskeletons should show or
Oh
should
my
become
gosh, that is
visible.
dark.
So, well, imagine that. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you start getting shot. I'm pretty sure you're just not going to fall over. If you're a robot, you're going to keep on going, but you're going to have you're going to be like the Terminator coming out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that would be kind of sick looking. And then, like, as you take more damage based on where the hit detection is. Maybe your arm is all jacked up looking. Obviously, you're a robot, so you can keep going. But
Wait, are we nuking Iran? What?
Not yet.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. I looked at the top right and was like, "What?"
Oh, U.S. is nuking Iran is
Nuking
the only
Iran is the
option.
only option. Anyway, continue. Try
No.
not to worry about World War III.
No, don't worry.
Nobody said nuking Iran.
Yeah,
The
nobody said
most that
that.
they
It's,
talked about is possibly dropping bunker busters
yeah.
and then going home, like
I'm
Trump
okay
did
with
with
nuking them.
like Trump
I
did
mean,
with
I am too.
what was it, ISIS, when he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I don't like them.
Listen,
They're
I feel
threatening
like
us."
we're at a point in the world where the U.S. needs to remind the rest of the world where the sun came from.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, and what the rulers of the world
Iran
actually
seems
are.
like a suitable target to do that reminding.
Well, I mean, real quick, we did it one time with our good buddies now,
twice.
Japan,
We did it
twice.
twice
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
in one
it was like
day.
a 2-for-1 sort of special, you
Once a
know.
day,
And they absolutely love us now.
right?
We're like best buddies now.
Right?
Feel like
Sometimes you
maybe
gotta
showing
slap
Iran
your
the
friend in the
sun
face.
might be a good thing.
Isn't that how guys relate to each other? You guys get in a disagreement. If it gets heated enough, you go outside in the front yard, beat the crap out of each other, and then you're good friends again. Now
Yeah.
I don't
We'll have
understand
a
that as a
beer after
girl,
that.
but
I mean,
that's how dudes work.
when I was a teenager, me and my best friend Keith at the time did exactly what Meg just said. He hit me with a little plastic bat because we were, trying to play baseball and stuff. We were like 12 years old. He accidentally hit me with the end of it. I got pissed off, tackled him. We started fist fighting, and then we were like, "You want to go play some video games?" He's like, "Yeah, sure."
I mean, women will not understand this, and I think that that's why. How do I say this? I don't care. I think that that's why I don't necessarily think that women should be in charge of things. Like
I agree.
I don't. I mean, we don't relate in the same way. We can't, like, if you come at me and it gets to throwing hands, if you survive this encounter, it is because I missed. That's it. Like
Well,
my assumption is that you're trying to end me or maim me in some horrible sort of way. Women are not the same. We don't work on that wavelength. If it gets to punches, I'm trying to kill you now because
Well,
this
here's
is
the
who
thing.
we're not.
If a guy swings at a girl, usually that girl pissed him off and she needs to run.
So
Well, no, I
I
didn't mean a guy. I meant another girl. Anybody. If
Oh.
if a girl gets into a physical altercation,
Don't worry, Zio, you'll get your time.
it's not for funsies. We don't fight for fun.
Okay,
We just
go
don't.
ahead.
are you two done now?
No.
No, okay.
Not really, but I'm pausing.
Okay, so I have not been paying attention to politics for like the past 2 weeks, and I feel
Good for
great
you.
not doing so, which is weird because it's usually everywhere, right? So I absolutely have no idea what's going on with the whole Iran anything.
I largely unplugged too, so I'm not
But
there.
I have recently started seeing videos pop up in my feed with these soy boys talking about how the U.S. would not survive a war with Iran and start listing off like how many people they have compared to our soldiers or something like that.
Oh, soldiers.
And every
yeah,
time I look at one of those, or every time I see one of those videos crop up my feed, and I just can't help but think, it's like, you sweet summer child. Where the
Yeah.
fuck are you located? Who told you that the U.S. could not handle Iran?
dude,
Like,
a single
we're
Marine could
talking
probably
about-
handle Iran.
We're talking about a military where we have people who have flooded their navy ship just so they can rearrange the topography of a map because they took a pot shot at them and were just out of range. I mean, I don't think Iran's going to be able to do much of anything to us. I mean, sure, they take a shot. Maybe they do some damage in LA or something. Not the worst thing in the world, let me tell you.
No, it's
But
not.
there's not going to be anything
I support
left
this
of
message.
Iran.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Iranian Ocean when they're done.
I'm getting to the point where I feel like the U.S. needs to now remind the world why its military might is the best at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
But anyway,
so
that's all I got. I just happen to keep seeing them, and I'm like, You
Well,
people have
there are a
no
lot of
idea
people who
what we are
are.
capable of.
Well, there was like a group of like 5 or I think it was like 3 or 5 Marines took on like a whole fucking battalion in Iraq, I think, and they walked out unscathed while
Well, see,
they literally took
I,
out.
I think what it is they hear these stories about things where we've purposely hamstringed ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, like when they got out of Afghanistan or whatnot, and those Marines got killed at
Hmm.
whatever base or whatever airport and
Yeah.
whatnot. And that's because we as American have this, for whatever reason, feel the need to tie both our hands behind our backs along with a foot when we're doing just about anything. In fact, the Geneva Convention only exists to hold us back at this point in time.
Hmm.
But if you were to actually piss off America and to
there
go
wouldn't be any
gloves
Geneva left.
there would not be anything left. You idiots out there will be screaming, "The America committed war crimes!" And it's like, yeah, okay, and
Yeah.
who cares?
What are you
Who's
going to
gonna
do?
stop them? What are
Come at
you
us
going
with
to
your
do?
guns.
You going
Oh
to go
wait,
out into what's left of LA and protest that America committed war crimes? Ooh, that's telling them something.
I mean, at the top of everything, we go, "Oh, we're a democracy and we're a republic and we're a monarchy." That's fine, but at the top of all things, the whole world is anarchist, and it's just a bunch of tribes that are just looking out for their own. And right now, the strongest tribe happens to be the USA. So the USA is basically going to set the trends and set the rules that are. You
yeah.
go, "Oh, well, that's not fair," and everything. According to what objective metric are you going by?
It's like, cool, fight us, fight us,
Yeah,
fight us with
because
your weapons that we gave you and we could easily take out. Fight us with your weapons that are over 10 years out of date. And the
yeah,
shit I've
we are
seen,
solely bound by our own morality,
the
Yeah,
basically.
I have a feeling that some of these people are about to die by their own
stupidity.
idiocy, idiocracy or whatnot.
Yeah.
They're going to die because I did just hear today about how apparently a bunch of these activists somehow got onto UK's largest military base
Oh shit.
over in Britain. And because the Brits are weak as fuck,
Yeah.
they didn't do anything about it. They vandalized and possibly grounded several aircraft of theirs. Right? I can't read it. It's
Give it a second.
yeah, well, it's also like not focusing. Oh, hi. There we go. I'm happy now. Anyway,
He really is. He was so mad. Like, how
no,
dare he?
but they got on and apparently vandalized and grounded several of their UK's the British aircrafts and tagged them with spray paint and other things.
Oh,
and got off
that's
the base,
adorable.
right?
Mhm.
And they were the British whoever was talking about it and said they were looking into it, this vandalism, and it is not, or wasn't using very strong words to describe how this isn't okay kind of deal. And it's like, don't ever do this on an American military base. I have a feeling that this might embolden some of these idiots to try and do that. And
that's
if the military police catches you, they will shoot you.
I was about to say, no, if you bring
You
I
better
looked into
find
this.
that one base where where they're very lax or whatnot to do something, but they will fucking rip you to shreds.
Yeah, no, I saw, because I got family that's in the military, and it's like, yeah, every military base in the U.S. and abroad has shoot to kill orders. That if anybody is trespassing, you are to assume that they are
Yeah,
terrorists.
if they
And
realize that they're not friendly, they light up.
yeah,
And the UK is just like over here, patting them with gloves practically. I'm like, guys, Britain, that is like an act of fucking war
right.
on your own base.
Well, they're
no
they're
less.
they're pussified. Like,
God damn. You need to
But-
go out, find these people, make a damn example.
Yeah,
But
and the
anyway.
thing is,
So
You don't
anyway,
learn.
yeah.
You won't learn lessons that way, honestly. If you just keep patting people on the head and just subduing them lightly and just go, ugh, this doesn't really bother me. It's something that bothered me about a lot of the pacifist anime I used to watch when I was younger, like Rurouni Kenshin or Trigun or something like that, where they're just so OP that they just subdue the bad guy and send him on his way. But then he comes back. He comes back and he gets more buddies and everything like that. He doesn't actually learn a lesson. Sometimes you have to make an example and actually let people suffer actual consequences. And the thing is that we're so strong that we're just like, oh, we act like somebody off of Dragon Ball Z where we're like, we'll just let you power up and we'll just hit you with light jabs until then. I won't unleash my full power,
No,
What is it
Yeah,
I'm
now?
in
we're
Vegeta
definitely
camp with
getting to
that.
the part of the season of Earth where we need to actually make an example of somebody.
Yeah, just
We're
remind
getting to
people
that
that it's not a
point
game.
that somebody needs to be made an example of to put people back in their place.
Here's
But
the funny
anyway,
thing. That,
Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled Cells tops 10 million. When did this come out and why?
Didn't it just come out recently?
I don't remember.
no, it's been out for a while, but
Wait,
the
is that
funny
the old one or is that the new one? Because I thought we saw a commercial for the new one last week.
they did remake it. They did
Okay.
remake it. So, but what's hilarious about this is kind of showing that Nintendo's Mario Kart
Mm-hmm.
has competition.
Oh, 6 years. It's been 6 years. Okay.
Yeah.
It says it right there. And I'm over here looking it up. But yeah, 10 million. I mean, that's not bad. So,
Yeah. The
although
thing
I
is,
don't think that would be real competition for Nintendo. They would have to put
no,
out
I'm
a
not.
Crash Team Racing like right now that could rival it.
Oh well, we do.
We got Sonic Racers coming out.
That's what I'm talking
That
about.
might do it, but
This is more of a supplemental to that to show like Nintendo, God has bled essentially.
yeah, I mean, 10 million is very respectable, even if it took them 6 years to do it. So, unlike some games like was it Hellguard? Talking about like we've got 3 million players.
So,
Guys,
yeah,
we have
Like,
3
that's
million
nice.
players.
I got
And
something
meanwhile,
just for
Crash
this.
is like, I got 10 billion copies sold.
I got something just for this because he said Veilguard.
He's already dead.
Okay. What was the other one? Oh, Assassin's Creed Shadows. They got 3 million players. 3 million players. Well, yeah, but did you sell 10 million copies yet?
Yeah.
No, I
Right.
don't think you did.
But yeah, so the reason I posted this, and also I think something about Sonic, is I've seen a lot of people honestly regretting getting the Switch 2 because they got it
I have
because
seen a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 regret recently in my feed too.
and and specifically with Mario Kart because they thought Mario Kart was going to be badass like Mario Kart 8 was, and then come to find out it's kind of bland. And
From what I have seen, I think it's a fun Mario Kart. I'm just saying.
No,
Well, so
I-
did
Like
they.
very fun
until they
Mario
bought it.
Kart. However, this idea of needing 24 players, I think, was ridiculous and not necessary. But that's the only and when you look into it, because we already talked about it, the only reason it didn't come out for the Switch to begin with, as the Switch Mario Kart, instead of just a remake of 8, essentially, just upscaling of 8, is because they wanted that 24 player count and they couldn't do it on the Switch 1. That was the only thing that kept it from coming out on the Switch 1. And it's like, what did that add to the game, realistically?
yeah.
Absolutely nothing. It adds nothing. It doesn't really subtract from it either. So, other than you're further behind, I guess. But
Yeah, no, to me. I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of buyer's remorse there.
I think
And-
this game I think it could have came out for the Switch 1.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
they weren't hell bent on that 24 mark, and it's like, where do you think these people are going to get 24 friends? They barely have one friend, let alone 24. And it's like, well, you can race with other people. Well, yeah, and they're doing that with 12 right now. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and well, see, there's also the fact that like they're getting buyer's remorse, and there's so much going on with the Switch. It's insane.
Now, we got Switch stuff coming up, so
Yeah, and the thing is, I think that the Sonic racing game is coming out at the perfect time to be considered a contender, especially given all the collab uh, material that's in it.
yeah.
Oh, that's what we watched last week. I'm sorry, I'm an old. I apologize. It was the it was the Sonic one, not Crash
Yes,
Team.
yeah, it was the Sonic one.
Okay, sorry.
This was just supplemental.
Yeah.
All right, so this here, 35 years ago, scored Streets of Rage. Now, all these years later, we're excited to bring you Eartheon, a brand new shooter crafted in the spirit of the Mega Drive, coming to digital platforms. All right, so
This
we're gonna have to.
this shot me with a lot of nostalgia. I can't wait for this.
All right, so we're gonna play this. I'm gonna turn the sound on. Reminds me of R-Type. All right.
Yeah,
That's your new what was it? R-Type?
yeah. R-Type.
I'm fine with that. We haven't had
Gradius.
an R-Type in for like ever.
R-Type, Gradius, that whole genre of side-scrolling shoot 'em ups. I'm down for that. I enjoy that. By the way, I don't think I posted this, but on the same vein of like retro, if you guys want to get some retro stuff for your mobile, Sega has Streets of Rage, Shining Force, Crazy Taxi all on mobile for free, but they're getting rid of it soon. So if you want
I'm
that
sorry.
stuff,
What?
oh, here, hang on. So I saw the story and was like, no way. Sure enough,
I can't see that. Can you link it in the chat or?
no, I can't. That's why.
Oh. So what is it
Focus, damn
exactly?
Eventually it'll focus.
Okay, so what am I looking up? How's that?
Sonic 2, Streets of Rage 2, Shining Force Classics, and Crazy Taxi Classics. Oh, Golden Axe Classics too. It's for a cell phone.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
And the thing is, it does have ads, but I mean, you can pay a couple bucks for it to be.
Oh, well, I'd
ad-free,
rather
but-
use an emulator.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, if you're on the go,
Okay, no, I see here. They did these
Yep.
phone versions of it. Okay.
Yeah. Which actually, I'm surprised the Crazy Taxi one I didn't think would be as good as it. It was pretty fun,
I'm surprised it even happened.
right?
But yeah, so all these games are on the App Store if you want to go get them.
For now, they're getting
now.
rid of them.
You're getting rid of them because it's something Sega does, which means they might be coming out somewhere else.
Could be. What?
Sega's pretty good at doing that, purging things from one thing, and then suddenly this other thing shows up somewhere else.
Switch 2.
It could be. Switch 2 variant.
Well, Golden Axe is already on there. Same with Shining Force. So I don't know.
And
It
to
could
all
be coming to
players
PC.
around the world who have shown love to Stellar Blade. Over 3 million. Yeah, 3 million copies sold. And this is the
Not
PC.
players? How many players though? I was
This
told that
is for
that's
the
a metric that
PC,
matters.
right?
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
And this is because they did that on the PlayStation too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Stellar Blade is
So
PC. And
this is the PC 3 million.
yep.
Yeah, I believe it. But yeah, once
Did either of
again,
you play the game?
Blade knocking it out of the park,
Yeah. Did either of you
and
play it?
people
No.
are very upset. I played the demo on PlayStation.
How was it?
It was good. I don't really have time to sit down and play a hack slash game on my
Yeah,
PlayStation much, so I didn't really buy it or anything, but I did play the demo.
it wasn't really my jam. Like I could tell from the gameplay, like it looked like a solid game, just not something I'd like.
What is that? Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid, but the one that was like Raiden.
Rising,
That was
I think.
just Raiden,
Yeah,
and he was doing the hack slash. It's what it felt like. It was one of those kind of games. I'm not sure what genre that is. I don't quite remember. My brain don't function
action.
enough to do that.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
just action? Is it pure act? Listen, there's so many cross genres now. It's hard for me to tell what's
I
what
would just
anymore.
consider it action.
Just
and
action. Yeah, I don't play a lot of
Action
action
and vehicle
games these
physics.
days.
action H game. I don't know.
But anyway, so people are very upset about this because they keep running around or making articles and stuff about the Gooner game, and blah blah this, that, and the other. They are very upset that this game is doing so well.
Yeah, they are enraged. And the funniest thing is everybody's reaction to the rage.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. But yeah, Stellar Blade's director rejects idea of regulating adult mods. Once the game is purchased, it belongs to the user, which is something a lot of places should, especially Nintendo.
I was about to say, are we going to talk about Nintendo now?
We're getting there, but I
Good
don't.
segue, actually.
That's the perfect segue for Nintendo.
It is, but we're not getting to Nintendo yet. We got a lot of other things to get there, but we are going to talk about mods here shortly. So, but yeah, places like Nintendo should really pay attention to this.
Well, also, I think it should also be enforced by our laws saying that if you buy something, you're the owner.
Yeah.
Who was it who's recently all upset about mods? I can't remember who it was. Might have
Spin the
been
wheel.
Nintendo. Huh?
Spin the wheel. There's a lot. Nexus Mods is upset about mods.
Nexus Mods has all the mods. But speaking of which, world's biggest modding site has been canceled. Sold. After 24 years. The strain of being responsible for the behemoth I created has taken its toll. So yeah, they sold off Nexus. So
Yeah,
who knows what will happen now?
I have an idea.
Well, I'm sure
did they
they're going
sell
to
it
start monetizing it much better than what it already is to begin with, so they can make some kind of profit from it. But I guess the question is, what's going to happen to all those mods who get upset when you change the flag to an American flag?
The new company is much worse than the
Are
current.
they?
Yeah.
Oh, so we can see a triple, quadruple down on that kind of activity?
Oh, yeah.
No, so Nexus Mods is just going to die. Got it.
Yep.
All right. Which is fine. I mean, I knew it was going to happen sooner or later because I highly doubt they were going to close Nexus, but they have been bleeding with the alternative sites now that are up and running, especially since they're taking the mods that they deem inappropriate because it somehow violates somebody's sensibilities and causes them to go to a corner and self-harm because it exists in the world. since they've taken on the burden of hosting those mods as well as every other mod in existence, Nexus has not been doing too well lately. So the fact that he's selling it was a good plan. That was good strategy.
Yeah, he's getting out
Definitely
early.
a good one. Getting out early. It's somebody else's problem now, and then we can watch them flounder for the next 5 years as they put really
You know,
good
they couldn't
mods behind a paywall or something, and nobody wants to pay for it.
But homie couldn't even go out like a bro, right? The way he goes out is like, the strain of being responsible has caused me to lose sleep and like have health issues
absolute
because of
pussy.
the stress.
Oh yeah, he went out as the soul boy he is.
I mean, he went out in the silliest way possible. I mean, except for like saying, you know, and now my pronouns are she, her. I mean, that's the only way it could have been like Sawyer. Like,
listen, he made that green off of it, and that's about as good as it's gonna get for him.
Yeah.
He couldn't just sell it and say it was time. I wanted to move on. And no, I was having health-related stress issues, bro. Come on, just like you keep that to yourself. That's like crying on camera. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been trained to cry on camera.
It's gross.
Cry on command.
Listen, they throw themselves on buses and cry, so you know.
They cry in front of fences and to open parking lots.
Oh my gosh! Let's go back to politics for a second. I actually had watched a Bearing video recently of apparently this woman in an immigration bus.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Let my people go.
The "Let My People Go" woman.
Yes!
Oh my god! I was like,
I need to see that one.
Real.
Bro, she launched her leg as if she was somehow like
we're gonna bring
her
it up.
bulk was gonna
bring it
somehow
up. I'm
stop
sure
this
Bearing
truck.
will understand.
She literally like she squared up her position. You could see it like when you set yourself so that way you can actually like resist some sort of power that you have the ability to stop.
Okay.
Yes, here it is. Yes.
Listen, we're gonna bring it up. I'm sure Bearing will understand.
Check Bearing out, by the way. He's on Rumble. It's awesome.
Okay, so this is the "Let My People Go."
We're not watching the whole 15.
No, we're not. We'll speed up to it.
So the No Kings protest happened over the weekend.
And what's that?
Well, the No Kings protest was like the protest against Trump because he's... Okay, so here we have a setup. We have a stand, like at a carnival or a fete, if you will, and it's Thera Trumpy. Or...
When he comes to this country, who he really is.
Yeah, so this is like taking place. This is taking place in like the UK or something, right? It's a
I love that
protest, and it's like
Okay.
people literally have a king. You know that, right?
I
Like,
know.
and it's funny because I've
I
seen
didn't know it was
people
the
like
UK. That's hilarious.
actually acknowledge that when people have brought it up in arguments back and forth. And it's like, you people know you have, well, he's not really a king because we have like this monarchy, blah, 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 parliament, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, he's still your fucking king, dumbass.
Also he has the authority to dissolve the parliament at his whim.
But anyway, here we go. This was just hilarious.
What is?
Let's back it up and look at Sugar Tits for a second.
I think I can. Did you hear the fat smacking onto the front of the truck, by the way?
And she's like locking herself in like she's gonna do something. I swear, these people all think they're so special.
Just hit the
They watch too
gas.
much anime.
Like the driver has this thing just in neutral or whatnot, and it's just like the automatic pull of the truck. It's just, or like in first gear, and it's just auto pulling at 1 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So this is actually effort. This isn't just like a sacrificial lamb sort of thing. This isn't just like a, if you go forward, you'll run me over. She's physically trying to push this bus back.
Yeah,
She
it's
is.
like watching a sumo wrestling match.
Yeah, so this is us.
I mean, that's probably the most exercise she's had in 10 years.
Probably.
Wait, are they rounding up white lesbians? What's the go here?
Who does she think? Fucking Moses? Let my people go! She's gonna like Red Sea, Fanny Lou.
Could you imagine an anime movie on that piece of
Imagine
shit?
if they're like, yeah.
It'd be really funny though if the bus was just empty the whole time.
Yeah, okay, and they swung the bus doors open, and the illegals got out, and they're like, "What the fuck is this bitch?"
Yeah.
Let them go! Let them go! Let them go!
So wait,
she's holding on to the mirror thing now to get more purchase, to get more. You know, I wasn't quite holding the bus back, just holding the bonnet. I gotta grab this mirror thing now. That'll do it.
As Carl Pilkington would say, I need more.
Oh my goodness.
I love the guy. Look at the guy.
He's like barely got a finger on there, just walking.
It's like fingertips, bro.
See, here's the thing.
He's afraid to get dirty.
Well, no, that guy's a smart one. He's like, oh, this all it takes is this guy to tap the gas and I'm fucked. He's just like, maybe not.
You have these really silly dudes.
Notice how he's on the side. He knows what's about to happen.
Get out!
Listen, she's getting her cardio in for the day.
Right?
Stop, you're gonna run her over. Well, she should move.
And she just gives up after a sec. She's like, "Wow, no,
Like,
it's a
I'm
bus.
good."
Yeah, we're not going to be able to do this."
Do you think the thoughts finally crept into this bitch's mind that this is not a good idea and I could get run the fuck over?
Right?
Now, when does it happen? Right here. Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
Don't kill me. It takes the mask off.
Bus driver's like, "Yeah, I reckon about maybe 7-8 k's an hour. Like it's quicker than walking pace, but let's give this bitch a fucking workout."
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
She's taking the mask off too. She couldn't breathe.
Yeah. She's like, "You can't breathe in these fucking things."
Especially when you're screaming out.
Oh, yeah, she takes off the mask and the glasses and the hat to show that she's a human being. And I'm like, you don't look more human. I'm just sorry. You don't.
Right.
Don't fucking kill me! Don't fucking kill me! Don't fucking kill me! Don't kill me!
Don't get in the way of a fucking truck, you dumb bitch.
And now they have decided that they are going to remove her themselves.
This person needs to be shown that she is actually not as powerful as she thinks she is. And she needs to be taken to jail. Like, honestly. Like, these people need to be shown that
I disagree.
She needs to go into a mental institute.
I disagree.
I'm sorry.
I disagree with both of you.
Go to jail or a mental institution. This should have been like a 20-second clip, honestly.
Nope.
What?
Send this bitch to the hospital, hit the gas.
Listen, I'm sure that guy back there is just hoping that.
Oh, he's
Like,
like,
I need
I'm
you
about to go viral.
Just smash her.
This guy here is still pissing himself. His mates come in now. They're like, "This is fucking getting 1 million clicks."
I wish you could see the expression on the truck driver's face right now.
He's just got it on fucking written.
Oh, yeah. I'm the only gay in the village. I'm gay. Homosexual. Gay.
Here it is. It's coming up. It's here. I can feel it.
Oh, we're still building to it.
We're still building to it, yeah.
Wait, what?
All this to get to a clip to be a contender for the no.
Yes.
He won.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Let's see it.
You know these things feed this country! We will not let this country!
There it is.
There it is. Yep.
Oh, because you screamed no.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that girl that from that meme where she's yelling no at Trump winning? She became a Trump supporter.
Did she really?
Really?
Yep. Yeah. No, she became a Trump supporter. Like the left, they eat their own. So
Did she get eaten?
she got bit and then was like, you know what? I'm going to go the other way then. Fuck y'all.
So let's see how this ends.
The
think this bitch is crazier.
Anyway, so she finally gets off the truck. She gets sort of like carted away to the side.
She gets like pushed to the ground. It's funny. She like rolls like a big fat boulder.
Oh, now she's doing the window thing that, I've always loved you. You'll always be in my heart.
I've always loved you, you MS-13 bastards.
It would have been funny if the bus.
Oh, but anyway, I can't remember what
She kept trying to throw herself at it. It was ridiculous. I was like, somebody break out the taser. She won't be able to handle it. Break out 2 if you have to. Incapacitate this nonsense. Roll her out of the way. Handcuff her and take her away. This does not need to happen.
This is why we need the insane asylums back.
Yeah, we really do.
Locked up and medicated.
They're too long suffering. These people have been trained to be very, very patient. Too patient, in my opinion. I'm like, no. They need to be able to face actual consequences, not just, okay, move out of the way. This is not your 2-year-old. This is an adult who needs to actually go to jail. Like, this isn't okay. Because they're just going to keep doing it.
You know, my 2-year-old acted like that once. I spanked him.
These are just
way again.
Exactly. They need a spanking.
Well, I like what DeSantis did. DeSantis said, hey, if there's somebody in front of you protesting, well, they're obstructing traffic. Vroom, vroom, motherfucker.
You know, that's also legal in Tennessee.
There was a there was a sheriff who was talking about right before the 14th.
In
Florida. I'm sorry, he was so base. I'll find it for you, Zio, and I'll show it at another time. We're not doing politics hour, but
it was the same sheriff who was like, "Don't be afraid to defend yourself," and pow pow if needed.
Yep,
pretty much, yeah.
And I quote, save the taxpayers' money and make sure they don't make it out. I was like, oh, that's what that I love that.
Oh man, this pisses me off on every level.
This is weird because like it still had the same message if they just did it in a feminist tent.
So it's not the same message then.
No, it is the same message because the original message that people were upset about is nobody gets left behind, family first, that sort of thing. Yeah. Right? They didn't leave anybody behind, and it was still family first at the end of the live action movie, which apparently people can't understand because the problem is they gave it a feminist bent where she gets everything she wanted. She gets her family. She doesn't leave anybody behind. And she gets to go to school and continue her education.
Well, okay, so me and Joe talked about this, and well, one, yeah, she definitely left somebody behind because she gave up not yeah, she did.
No.
She did. Yeah, 100% she did.
No longer have custody of Lilo.
The last frame is them together in bed, going to bed.
She can come and visit
because she can come and go easily with the portal gun. She didn't leave Lilo behind. She can come back every day.
Yeah, that was an absolute cop-out.
It is.
Yeah, it's that feminist bent to it.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying feminism is basically antithetical to family, and it just is, and that's what you saw.
But it still had the same message: family first. They're all together.
Yeah, but
I like good stuff.
It wasn't family first because
it was Nani first.
It was Nani first.
Well, okay, not family first, but you know what I mean. The family's still together.
It's not together. I mean, she can come and visit, but like if her studies take her abroad, she's going abroad and she's leaving that chick where she was.
She's already abroad. She took a portal gun so she can come back every night.
Yeah, that's like saying, "Oh, by the way, this was what was in the briefcase at the end of that one movie." There was like,
"What's no different than anything else?" Listen, if she was at work all day. And then she came home. I mean, you go to class all day, you use the portal and go home. Same thing.
And what happens if it breaks?
So, well, hopefully it won't break because it's alien technology and they didn't get into any of that. So,
I was about to say something terrible.
I mean,
I was about to say something that was going to get you in another class, so
yeah, well,
I'll stop right there.
Anyway, I think they still did the point It's just they did it horribly.
No, I think they
I
tacked
think
that
it's
on because somebody said this isn't going to work, and we're
Yeah.
going to get roasted. And they still got roasted because everybody could see through the bullshit. And here's the thing: this would not have been a bad story at all or message at all if it wasn't Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that it's Lilo and Stitch, but it's that it seems like Nani put herself first, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, and they were all telling her, Nani, you have to think of yourself and think of yourself. That is not parenthood. I mean,
No.
yeah, you can't starve yourself, but your children come first. That is the whole thing, and that's what family is. Family is sacrifice. And they were like, well, she doesn't have to sacrifice. She can have it all. But she doesn't have it all because she in her desire to do that, you still do lose something. She doesn't have custody of Lilo. She's not in charge of Lilo anymore. She has to ask if the people who are actually in charge of Lilo decide that they're moving, well, then they're moving. I mean, yeah, she has the gun, but if it breaks, it doesn't matter. So it's just
That's the thing is
it's a cop-out way of trying to say Nani basically chose Nani.
Yeah, pretty much.
But again, I'm already angry because I'm mad that they remade it. So it just you don't need to do this. You don't. Animated movies actually exist, and they actually are a valid form of media. Stop acting like it wasn't the real version unless it had people in it acting badly. Anyway, all right, I'm done.
Anyway, so Nani's her sister.
Spoilers,
but
sorry, bro.
I don't think it would have mattered either way. I mean, the original ending to the movie didn't really make sense because Nani still doesn't have a way to provide for Lilo.
No, she had a job and everything.
She got a job at the end. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but she lost all the jobs in the live action, so she didn't have a job.
Well, they did that on purpose.
Yeah, they did that.
So
yeah, in the fucking anime movie, she found a job at the end. She got her life together. And here's what drives me crazy. Absolutely bonkers. She goes to California, which is already a mistake, to study marine biology.
Marine biology.
Yeah. Do you know what the second best? I looked it up because I was like, something doesn't sound right here. So I looked it up. The best place for marine biology is, in fact, in California. Not going to deny that. Do you know where the second best place was?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
But it's also a fictional world, so there's no guarantee that place even exists.
Oh, bullshit.
So, well,
Hawaii,
I mean, again,
fictional.
Hawaii is still an island chain, and we would still be having the same conversation, even if, because I've seen people say that too. Well, she should have went to Hawaii, and it's like, yeah, she's also 3 islands over.
Well, no, she should have gone to. I mean, that would have at least shown that she's making some sort of sacrifice.
Would have made no difference at that point, other than
I thought
she's got to take a boat, for however long it takes to get from one part of the chain to the other.
I thought that didn't.
I don't know where they actually live. I'm making a guess here.
I thought Lilo and Stitch was on the Hawaiian island, like Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an island chain. There's multiple islands.
Okay.
Make up Hawaii.
Okay, but yeah, it's still infinitely closer than California, and
yeah, no, I mean it'd still be the same mode of travel.
Well, I'm saying, yeah,
I don't know if you can really travel from
he's saying that's a cop out, basically, because of
it would still be the same issue.
No, it wouldn't, because she would have a way to get to. Here's the thing: take out.
Okay, so they live.
No, take out the portal gun, and this movie falls apart entirely. The portal gun is just a MacGuffin to basically be like, oh, like Meg says, she can have everything. No, you fucking can't.
And the thing is that there are parents who go to school and have children. It's a thing, giving up your sister so that you can go to school is just, it's not pro-family. You can say that she still loves her, and that's fine, but that is not pro-family. That is antithetical to that. That is me first, and I care about me and my life. And that was what they were saying. They were like, Nani, you have to take care of yourself. Okay, fine. And if that's the message that they want, that's fine. You probably shouldn't be talking about Ohana then. Because Ohana is family, and family means you sacrifice, you do for each other. Nobody gets left behind, nobody gets forgotten, is actually a hard thing to do if you're just thinking of yourself. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna let it go. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I still think it would be the same issue, even if she went to a school in Hawaii and had to be like 2 islands over to go there, because that's not like a 30-minute trip on the highway to go home. That's
but if she went to
more
work
like
on
a
the mainland,
multi-hour get onto a ferry at a specific time. Ferry leaves, takes an hour to get here, then you have to get into a vehicle, then you have to drive 30 minutes an hour to the house, and that's not exactly a good way to go about it either.
I think the better thing to do, which would have actually kind of done it, would have been that she was willing to give up her dream for her sister, and then it turned out that she could have like a work study program, and it allowed her to stay with her sister and still do
Well,
that.
if they had done it like the original, it would have been better.
Yeah.
Well, if they hadn't done this at all, it would have been best. But
Yeah. Well, also, what would have been a good compromise on this is not the retarded portal gun MacGuffin, but hey, there's this great thing that's in front of all
gun
three.
Wasn't really a MacGuffin. It was to be honest, I'm surprised anybody remembered the portal gun existed.
Let's be real. They probably were fans. They were probably fans of Rick and Morty.
Dude has the portal gun, and it does get some use right there at the end and everything. And then they do the whole, portal thing where you fall infinitely.
Oh yeah.
In the movie, and then he has to disengage his disguise to stop it because he's bigger than the hole. Which, of course, would have been great if somebody actually had gotten the portal gun and redirected it and then lost half of him.
But that was my whole problem with the in-game. But not in-game, but what was it? Infinity War.
Yeah, but no.
I was dude, you should have just used the portal and cut the dude in half. But okay.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that screw the portal gun. Fuck the portal gun. Portal gun does not exist. You know what does exist and would make infinitely more sense? This magic box in front of us called a computer.
Yeah.
Where I can go to college from home.
Yeah, my sister did that for a good deal of her master's program.
I don't think that was even an option.
Well, they made it so that it wasn't an option.
It definitely wasn't an option in the old one because technology wasn't really there that well.
Yeah,
but even in the new one, they're up in the mountain side with very little up there. And the internet runs there. So I don't think that would have been an option.
I don't think we can't talk if there's an echo.
What echo?
You're wrong though.
Okay, I can be wrong. Do we have an echo?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, did I leave the sound on?
I don't know. It just happened.
Yeah, it was fine all this time.
It was fine.
It's good now.
It's fine now.
Maybe I left the sound on earlier and forgot it. Yeah, I can be wrong on this one. I'll take it. I mean, I thought the movie was fine. I'm not a huge Stitch fan, and my girlfriend, who is a huge Stitch fan, absolutely loved it, and that's my only barometer for this movie. So she loved it. It was fine enough.
And the thing is, that's fine. I know that I am a harsh critic, but I'm always looking at what is the story and what is the actual implication behind it. Some people are just like, I have a friend who is just like, oh, I liked it, it's fine. I'm like, yeah, but you like all the Disney remakes. So, I mean, I'm glad you had fun, but also opinion discarded. So, I mean,
she does not like all the Disney remakes. In fact, I think she hates most of them.
Well, good on her. Good on her.
I don't know many people who like the Disney remakes for the most part.
I do. She's just a Disney child, a Disney adult, But that's what she. So, yeah. It's fine.
That water tastes funny.
Oh, dude, I bought this bought this Gatorade drink when me and Joe were go swimming, and it didn't say it was out of date, but it tasted really bad.
I thought Gatorade was like Twinkies; it don't go out of date. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't know. Let's see. Former Unity Senator. Wow. Senior engineer decides to roll his own game engine and see. His first try is 14 times faster than Unity. Really?
Whoa.
He breaks it down and explains, well, that's nice.
It's
So
because
we can have
Unity
something
is
better than
bloated.
Unity?
Yeah,
Have engines become that bloated? Yes.
Yeah, it's not hard because Unity is massively over-bloated code-wise and tries to be everything for everyone. And when you run stuff in C is a very slimmed, streamlined programming language. It's very good for running things for a singular or multi-purpose, but narrow in scope. And it allows for a lot more.
Maybe we can get something better than Unity then for people to work with.
Wouldn't be hard.
I mean, part of the problem right now is the fact that they're training people or they're teaching people in things like Unreal and Unity.
Yeah.
And not teaching them in anything else, which is why a lot of studios keep dropping their own old in-house engines for Unity and the other one, Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that's bad for the industry at large.
It is. It really is.
Because neither one of those, I mean, they look good.
Yeah, they're not optimized.
Don't get me wrong, but they are not optimized at all, which is why we have so many issues with games these days. But, having another one that comes out, like maybe something like this here,
It'll help.
That would help.
Yeah, it will.
Didn't we just talk about Nexus?
Yeah, but you put this way far on the other side.
That's right, because we linked it 2 different locations. Nexus Mods is now acquired by Chosen. We talked about this, so
yeah.
Anyway. Borderlands 4, by the way.
Yawn.
So, remember when only the real fans will make it happen? Oh, sorry.
I remember being told that.
Slide. Remember when the real fans will make it happen? That $80 price tag. Borderlands is not $80 now. It is now the $70, which is the current market standard outside of Nintendo trying to push it further.
Nope.
I don't know if that's going to help it or not, but
nope, sure won't. Cause
it is coming out at $70 now instead. And if you want the deluxe edition, it's $99, which is wow. Like usually, deluxe editions are usually about $10 more, if I remember correctly. That's like the standard. And this one is more than $10. But the super deluxe edition is $130.
Holy shit.
If you want to be a super fan.
A whale, one might say.
Yeah.
No,
but anyway, Doom the Dark Age launched at 70 and it didn't do so well either, so we'll see how that goes. But
here's the thing, I've been seeing a lot of people going, I'm not fucking buying this. I saw Borderlands 3, fuck them.
Well, I've also seen people trying to cope with it, going, it's going to be like Borderlands 2.
Yeah, I saw
and I'm
that
like,
too.
I don't know if I want to hold my breath, guys.
Yeah, like I saw that post. I posted like that would be awesome if it was, but I'm gonna be in a wait and see. Like if it does, if I see it and like it, I'll buy it when it goes on sale. I'm not paying $70. Go fuck yourselves.
Well, anyway, it's also going to come packaged with our favorite Denuvo.
This is another reason why I'm not.
Their in-house symbiote DRM. Because not one DRM is enough. You need 2.
Yeah, we can't have it being 60 frames per second.
Fuck that shit. This alone is enough for me never to download Borderlands again.
Yep, me too.
Fuck that shit.
Gearbox is a shell of its former self.
It's bad enough I occasionally have to deal with it anyway. I don't want to voluntarily deal with it on purpose, knowingly. You know?
Yep.
But yeah, so it's going to have 2 forms of DRM on it. Yeah.
You know, I think I saw this before where it was Denuvo and it might have been the symbiote. And
this
the
is
game
their in-house one.
And the game bricked.
Yeah, so this is their in-house one. You know how they changed their EULA and all this other stuff,
Yeah.
where they could go ahead and start getting information from your crap and things. Symbiote is how they'll do it, because
Yeah.
that thing is parasitical. It's like a worm in your computer, like the old hacking term or virus term, worms.
Yep.
It will go from thing to thing and touch base with
Oh
everything.
my
I don't
goodness.
want that anywhere near my system.
They're such a years back
Parasitical.
years back Joe got one from a mod and it was a pain in the ass and a half to deal with.
So Epic is removing Dark and Darker from the sales of the Epic Game Store on March 5th. In consideration of a court decision in Korea between Nexon and the game's publisher Ironmats. On November 1st, 2025, we will be removing Dark and Darker from the library, at which point it is no longer be
No.
playable via the Epic Store.
No, that's not the library. It's your library.
Yeah, from your library. Effective immediately, players can no longer purchase red stone shards or the legendary status upgrades via the Epic Game Store. Players can continue to use red stone shards they have previously purchased until November 1st, 2025. We will issue refunds to all players who have already purchased legendary status upgrades. Refunds will be issued to players' original payment methods, and where that's not possible, players will receive a refund in their Epic account balance. We are unable to provide refunds on the Redstone shards. So, I have no idea what the hell is going on in Korea, but Epic is trying to make this as good as possible right
Yeah.
with the customer, which is pretty dang good on Epic. So
this is hard to
know,
unravel here.
to sit there and now you're going to lose this game out of your library.
Well, it sounds like an MMO, like one of those gotcha MMO games.
Let's look it up because I know the name, I just don't remember what it is.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar. I don't remember either.
Dark and Darker on Steam. It's a multiplayer action role-playing game developed by Ironmats, set in a dark fantasy. It was released early. Oh, it was released into early access 2 years ago.
Okay.
I clicked the thing and it brought me to the wiki, which now I lost where I was reading at. South Korean company. Let's see. Well, let's see what the legal issues are. On February 16, 2023, it was reported South Korea video game company Nexon alleged that Dark and Darker had similarities to an ongoing development of a game that was... Wait, really? What?
Did they pull a Nintendo?
Alleged that Dark and Darker had similarities to an ongoing development of a game that isn't out?
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, wait, it's not.
What? Alleged that P3 assets were leaked onto an external server. Oh, who also happened to be known as SDF on the Dark and Darker Discord. Project team lead for P3. Oh, so did they actually steal stuff from it?
Oh, Dark and Darker did?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh.
Joe was fired because the game came out in 2023.
Yeah.
And they went into legal troubles in early 2023 over it. So, if the game is being removed, I can only assume
they lost.
And,
yeah.
A small court determined that Ironmats did not infringe. Oh, no, they didn't. Okay. February of this year, a sole court determined that Ironmats did not infringe on Nexon's copyright, but did infringe on trade secrets by leaking internal data. As such, Ironmats was ordered to pay 8.5 billion won in damages. Okay, so why is Epic taking it down then? Really, child? What are you doing back there besides acting weird?
I just got out of my VR goggles and I'm super sweaty and my face feels mushed.
Okay, go in there, turn the fan on, and sit down somewhere. Jeez. Anyway, so yeah, March considering the court decision in Korea between Nexon and publisher. We will be removing. That makes no sense why they're removing it though.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So Dark and Darker was found not to be infringing on anything, so it's good to exist, but they were charged with stealing trade secrets from Nexon, so they paid restitution for that.
Yeah,
Why in the world would Dark and Darker have to come off the Epic storefront?
Do they pay to be on there?
I think it's the same as Steam. They have to pay like whatever the fee is, and
then
percentage of in-game sales and stuff will go to them and stuff like that.
Maybe they thought it wasn't no, because Epic's the one that removed it, not.
Yeah, and it's Steam hasn't made an announcement, but it's on Steam.
Yeah, it's free on Steam.
So
it actually looks pretty good.
It's still in early access too.
It has mostly negative reviews, but hey, free.
Yeah, mostly negative. It's free.
It looks pretty good to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm confused at why Epic's removing it. Yeah, and I get that the whole from libraries is the thing that people need to get upset about, but Epic's also trying to make it right by refunding the legendary status, which would be the DLC purchase for a free game, and they can't do anything about the in-game currency. So,
it's PvP. Never mind. Fuck that.
Wait, what is?
Dark and Dark.
Is it just PvP?
Well, apparently it's a lot of the people. I guess it's forcing people to play 3v3, and like this new patch or something. Now there's only trio. There's not solo or duo. In the normal runs, there's only trio now, where we absolutely have no chance against 3 players. Solo and duo are only available in the in-game dungeons, where people with stupidly strong gear and much more playtime rule the runs. Okay, yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those kind of like you versus other players, and you're in a dungeon or some other sort of setting, and they essentially, you essentially try to extract with as much goodies as you can before the players.
Is it an extraction shooter?
Kind
of medieval weapons.
Kind of.
All right, so who's ready for Payday but racist?
Slasher.
So who's up for the racist Payday? You remember that whole where there are people out there to try and prevent like stereotypes in gaming, and then they just go off and make a game that is like a giant ass stereotype. We're doing it again, Meg. We're doing it again.
I'm so tired. I'm tired, boss.
Signed. Promises made and broken. Is it stealing to take back what was stolen?
Yes.
Who's stealing them?
Us.
It's time to get out of there.
Oh, it's one of those runner games.
Smart, agile, and will let you look into places with the tightest security.
Let's go! I could probably bench press every one of them.
The locksmith strikes again. Hold on.
Listen, are you having second thought?
All right, this is a cell phone game, by the way, right? Because this is literally Temple Run.
Nope.
With African people stealing things that weren't stolen.
I think the funniest thing was the Steam forum thread for this.
Nope.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered this. Are you sure we
covered this game? I think we covered this game.
Nobody.
You linked
I was
it.
tired
So.
last week too.
Okay, so anyway, we've got a game that is supposed to be reverse Indiana Jones or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole purpose of this is apparently all these Western places like UK, American stuff like that apparently had all these African artifacts. They claimed they were going to give them back, and then instead of giving them back, gave them to private collectors to hold on to them and say, "Oh, we don't know what happened to them. Sorry, Africans. We didn't mean to steal it, but we just don't know where they are now." So these people are out going to take them back to Africa,
Where they'll get destroyed,
where they will inevitably get stolen or resold or something anyway. But what's really interesting is they have to make this whole fictional thing about it, because in real life, apparently this is actually happening, minus the whole stealing, where these museums are giving back these African artifacts to African museums. And then apparently, I think over 1,000 of them in one nation that they went to was actually sold to fund some kind of rebel revolution thing that's going on down there after they got it back.
What a shock.
Which was like, oh, I'm so glad we took the time to give that back to you, I guess.
Now we can fund a genocide.
But anyway, so yeah, that's what this is. It looks like one of those Temple Run games that is on mobile right now.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it's going to be dead on arrival.
Okay, so I want to point this out. I want to state this very clearly. I am a big proponent of indie games. They are not a monolith. We do not claim this.
Anyway, any words, Meg?
I have a lot of words, but we have very little time. So, I mean, aside from the very cheap-looking aesthetic, like the play looks like it could be fine. It looks like it could be fine, just fine. You know, the running and the jumping and the, typical side-scroller platforming, fine. It's the need to do this whole, like, it's the setting that people will find objectionable. Like, this could have been fine if it was just set in Africa and you didn't have to have, like, the whole, oh, these other nations done us wrong. We are tired. Everybody is tired of victim narratives, and that's what this feels like. Even though it's not necessarily that, I guess you could say it's reverse engine. We're stealing from the bad guys. Okay, but the thing is that the people that you want to play your game are from the nations that you're calling the bad guys. So they're all going to be kind of irritated about this. And it seems like you guys are like, oh, poor us, and we have to fight to take our power back. We're sick of it. This is not the time. I know that you probably started developing this during the BLM heyday, but that time has passed. You need to change this. This is not going to go the way that you hope it will go. Now you can, and then they can wallow in their feelings and be like, they're just not ready and they're just all racist. Okay, fine, but that's not going to help you sell your game. You can feel good about yourself and be like, well, we stood on whatever principle this is, but
still reminds me of a cell phone game.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, but when you launch a game and my first thought is, oh, this is a cell phone game.
Yeah.
It's already a game I'm probably not going to play.
Well, it depends on the price point. If this was like $5, maybe even $10, it'd be like, if I heard that it was good and had cute puzzles, I'd be like, all right, maybe. Sure.
But what they've shown me is purely Temple Run, but you're looking at it from the side. So
it's like that Prince of Persia Broken Crown game, which actually I heard was quite good.
That one, that's different because that is an actual side-scrolling action game.
Isn't that the same thing that's going on here?
No. What they're showing here is just pure running.
There's no fighting, that's true.
And since that's the only gameplay they're showing me, I can only assume that she runs forward no matter what. You're hitting buttons to make her slide, jump, and things like that, which is a cell phone game. There's 15,000 different variants of that for free right now. I'm not that interested in that because they don't show her stopping or doing anything actually, that would be like puzzle solving or anything like that, like you
Yeah.
would with Prince of Persian, or fighting anybody or going back and backtracking to do this, that, and the other. It really does remind me of just one of those Temple Run auto runners on a cell phone.
Yeah. Then in that case, I would say
Like,
that maybe
I
$5.
can bring one of those up real quick right now
Is
for
it how
those who don't
many
quite understand.
tabs we got left?
Oh, never mind. Yeah, we got 4. We can move forward. But yeah, I don't see this game doing well.
I mean, even if it was a good game, I don't see it doing well. Just because people are sick of this narrative. Go ahead.
Okay.
PSA.
So this is the Switch 2. This is apparently it had some issues, but it really is. It was.
It's great for weighing down papers.
No, this was all manufactured. Turns out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this came from somebody who was hacking the Switch, and when they changed the voltage, it bricked it.
Well, no, there was somebody that was doing
But
illegal
there is
dump.
no actual concrete anything of any of this other stuff happening.
Okay, because
Yeah.
what I saw, which maybe I got, but apparently somebody was using a MIG card to dump a game that they bought.
Yeah, that will brick it because they don't want that done. I mean, they went and they raided people, and we talked about that one Bowser guy last
Yeah.
week or something over this whole thing too.
Well, this
Maybe
was in
last week.
this was in the U.S. where it's completely legal to do that. So,
well, yes, and they weren't in Japan either. So I mean,
well, I thought the Bowser
their
guy
outfit.
was.
I mean, that Bowser guy I think might have been, but
Yeah, I thought that was
most
in
of them
Japan.
were not in Japan. This was in other countries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They
Like,
went after people.
Nintendo might be on the hook for something legally because.
No. I mean, as of right now, no. I mean, it's
Well,
like
no,
in their
I'm not.
terms, it's
I know
everything
not.
else. But yeah, it's something doing anything with the Switch that is not in their what they want you to do.
Well, see, that's the problem.
That's break it.
That's the problem.
And nobody's going to sue them because Nintendo has won 100% of all lawsuits that they have initiated so far.
But that's what they have initiated. Somebody else would have to initiate it against them for this, right?
Exactly.
Yep. And nobody's got that money.
Well, I don't know.
Balls either.
Unless, because if this happens on a widespread enough basis,
you can get a class action.
It's not going to.
Again, that's why I said
people using MIG cards are usually people who are hacking to begin with. They're not going to come out and say, I was hacking the Switch and it bricked, Chad. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen.
No, here's the problem. Then the burden of proof would be to prove that they were doing it maliciously. And if they own the game,
doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. It 100% does. There's legal precedence for this.
Because we don't have any legal thing that says we own that game right now. That's why everybody is a license for the game. That's why it needs to be overhauled.
Yeah,
that's why there are people calling for that entire thing to be overhauled.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nintendo can come in and take my games, and I can't do any shit about it.
So I think that you could get
to a point.
Yeah, you could get to a point where if a lawyer sees that they could get a win on this, and take a good deal of the settlement, that might go to court.
They might take that up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, we're going to take 50% of that winning, then we'll consider it,
And that'd be a hell of a thing. That'd be a hell of a badge of honor for any lawyer to be like, I went up against Nintendo and won.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's the lowest hanging fruit, but I think that they're on kind of tenuous grounds. The problem is that it depends on what you click on when you purchase your Nintendo Switch 2. What the rules are that you agree to, what terms and conditions you are agreeing to.
I mean, when it comes to that, there's also the whole this can't be enforced in terms kind of thing too. But again, that requires going to court with Nintendo.
Yeah.
And who can really go to court with Nintendo?
Lawyers.
No, they can't just go to court with Nintendo. It costs money to go
I
to court
know.
against Nintendo.
What I'm saying is, if it be, and again, caveat, if it becomes widespread enough, you're looking at the possibility of a class action, because again, you still doesn't matter what's in the EULA in terms of service, because you still bought a product. If that product is faulty, then
It's not faulty. That's the thing.
No, what I'm saying is, if it's being viewed as faulty because you were sold a product under the premise of X, Y, and Z, and the company doesn't deliver, then you might have a case. It'd be
I don't see it, because all Nintendo's going to do is stroll in with their mountain of lawyers and say, it's intended to do that, Your Honor. They did something that wasn't supposed to be in there.
I don't know if that works in America necessarily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it would fly in the U.S. courts.
It may not even make it to the court to begin with. So,
well,
again,
I mean,
we're talking about Nintendo, who can throw so much money at a thing. Then you're going to need to get enough people to make a class action, which isn't going to happen because normal people don't do that thing with their Switch.
Well, let's throw out the legal aspect for a moment. Do you think that this might actually turn off? Because if people get bricked, if people's stuff gets bricked coincidentally, like say they got a power surge or something, I don't know how sensitive that whole thing is, or even if it's true. But in all truth, yeah, I could see this really hurting the Switch 3 sales. They already going to hurt Switch 2 because, and I've said that time and time again, if you want to know how good a console is, you're going to look at the next generation.
My friend's birthday party is in 8 days.
Yeah, I think that for this, if the law firm decides, you know what, I think the juice is worth the squeeze, it won't cost the same amount of money that we're assuming that it would. If a law firm says, no, this is going to be the thing, we are going to beat them because we think we can, and it will be a badge of honor, and we will take part of the winnings, and it will cover the cost of this, then it can happen. I'm not saying that, I mean, it's not like a single person going up against an army of lawyers. They just have that single person just needs to convince a law firm or a lawyer to go against them and find a proper venue. I don't know though. The thing is that if you're doing something that might be considered to be illegal in some way, shape, or form, then they would not. They wouldn't have it. Then they wouldn't have a case. So it's murky waters depending on the terms of service. It honestly is. I mean, I think that's what it's going to come down to in the end. Because if a law firm does see that they're like, oh no, this is violative, and then ambulance chasers will totally get onto that and do this class action lawsuit on behalf of the users, and a bunch of people will get letters in the mail, but yeah, that's not I don't think that it's uncommon. I mean, people go after big fish all the time. It's just gamers, individuals don't usually, but if it looks like it's something and it comes to the attention of some hungry lawyers and they think they can win, this could be a thing, because they're messing with private property, and we kind of take it a little personally here.
Yeah.
But anyway. I don't. Again, I think it comes down to their terms of service. They might have something in there that says, if you purchase this, you're under of the understanding that you will not tamper with this. And then someone's
that is in their terms at this point. But anyway.
Yeah.
So nearly 3,000 Switch 2 units were stolen.
Lol.
Scalpers are having a bad time with selling the Switch 2.
Again, lol.
I don't know if we have that one there, but I did run across it, and I thought I meant to link it and forgot to.
This is messed up. I was like, that sucks.
20 years of Pokemon, 1,000. were wiped out after. Oh no!
Right?
Oh,
Wait, why
Yeah.
did they?
a moment of silence, my dudes.
What happened?
Data gets corrupted, man.
Yeah. And you're looking at data from multiple games with multiple systems trying
I
to.
know, but what happened? That actually needs to be known because
He needs to know because this might be his
because
future.
one, their box in the game isn't holding that many Pokemon. Got it?
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay.
Because they have Pokemon Home, where it is stored server side on Nintendo's end. That's why I
Okay.
need to know what actually happened here. Because it could be as simple as Nintendo restoring it to fix it. And since there's not a Pokemon game for the Switch 2, there's literally no reason for you to have your Pokemon game in a Switch 2.
So it's a Switch 1 Pokemon game that was compatible.
So
Yeah, they might have
there
stored.
isn't. I mean, other than putting the game in there, and then I guess that data being corrupted, but that data is saved to the Switch 1.
I don't know.
I think all of that stuff is stored up. I mean, if they have like what is it, the Nintendo service, then that backs up their data in the cloud, and that means that if the cloud data got corrupted, then dude's out of luck.
Yeah, I mean that's true too, unless they had backups. Let's see. Let's see if we can find out what actually happened now.
Sad things,
Now
man.
they may have a new system to try out. Several different titles on it, including an improved version of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Is there an improved version of that?
Dude, I don't know.
On
I
the
don't play
Switch 2?
Pokemon. I just thought this was fucked up and
Title
worth putting on
that
there.
not only has enhanced graphic but also runs smoother on the new gen console. For any Pokemon fan who's just getting into the game after buying the Switch 2, the overall experience should be okay. In the case with one particular user who alleged lost their whole save file when transferring from original Pokemon data from their OLD. Oh, they were transferring the data. Oh.
That's so sad.
So for people who don't know, when you go into get a new Switch, you can transfer your data from your old Switch to your new Switch, right?
Yeah.
All your save files, all that stuff. You can do it wirelessly, but if something fucks with that, this is why I hate doing it too. Like I hated doing that when I got the kids their Switches because I had transferred their shit off my Switch.
Yeah.
And I was just like, please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up. Because it was their data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon players share a painful experience after data transfer goes wrong. User claimed they lost a save file containing 1,000 plus hours of gameplay as well as 20 years of mods just after
Damn.
the startup initial data transfer went fine. However, that was before they found out that their Scarlet save file was gone. Instead, being able to access their supposedly transferred save file on booting up Scarlet and Violet, they were taken to the language selection to create a new character.
Ugh.
Oh, it didn't even come back with an error. So something happened that.
Did they try transferring it back to their Switch then? Because if they put out a new and improved version of Scarlet, that's technically a completely different game.
Yeah.
Meaning that save file was not made for that game.
Yeah.
Meaning the save file might
Yeah.
actually still be on his Switch 2. He just needs to plug in his old game.
I don't know. I do not know.
After that soul crushing alleged there was no more save data on their old Switch. Yeah, because it's on the Switch 2. They also claim to have lost bonds they cared for and used the most. Is that now deleted save file? Well, let's see. I mean, it sucks that it's gone. It really does. I understand.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it's a thing because if they were to take Violet and put it in, like the original Violet, not the new and improved one,
Yeah.
would it suddenly show up? That's my question, and it's not answered in that. So
Yeah, I don't know.
because that would be my last ditch effort to see if it's still there or not.
Right?
Would be to plug in the original game into the Switch 2 and see if it's
Also,
still there.
I'm sure that because all the systems have a file search function.
Yeah.
Deep in there, so I honestly think that if he looked, he might find some weird files that are his data.
Probably. That sucks. It really does. All right, so we got 2 more tabs. Only 3.5 million install based at the moment. Overpriced third-party ports of existing games. Many are digital only. Console isn't even a fortnight old. I mean, what were you expecting? Yeah, seriously, I was actually curious to know how the sales were going to go for all the third-party stuff that they
Not
were
good.
launching on the Switch 2 because, like I said in the past, they all already exist on the PlayStation 5, the Xbox, and PC. They've been out for years at this point, and you're trying to upsell them 30, 40, 50 fucking bucks. If you've got the choice, it's not the Switch 2, guys.
Right.
And yeah, so to find out that they're not doing so hot is not a surprise to me. But I don't know who thought this was a great idea.
Yeah, no, people don't buy Nintendo for third party. It's all Mario.
Yeah, I mean Mario and Pokemon.
They might as well just call the next one Mario Machine.
Let's see. Regarding unauthorized pre-release content. So what was this? I think you linked it. It was Monster Hunter.
No, I don't think it was me.
The unauthorized acquisition of use of unreleased content such as armor is a violation of rules.
Oh wait, yeah, I did.
Its release title Upgate 1 account found to have clearly engaged in such misconduct is now being suspended. Okay.
Basically, people who data mined and found what's coming down the pipe
got hit.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm not surprised.
Like I was saying,
listen, when it comes
people who data mined and found out what was coming down the pipe ended up modding in the new stuff to show, hey, here's what's coming. And Capcom, whoever, I don't know, got pissed off and started banning people for, I guess.
Well, as they should, I guess.
Even though, from my understanding, none of it was paid DLC or anything. But I don't know. This was kind of a weird one.
Look, I'm sorry, but
bye, Zia.
He's sorry, but he had to leave us.
I hit the bucket.
You know what's funny is I never have this problem.
Do what?
I stream for 5 hours at a time without ever getting booted.
Yeah, it's always at the 2-hour mark somewhere. Anyway, yeah. So Monster Hunter, it's always online. It's designed to play with other people. They have a hacking problem, which they have been trying to take out as much as they can. I'm not surprised. If you are going to data mine it, that's fine. That's one thing. I'm not going to be upset for you data mining it. But when you do go ahead and mod in something that isn't actually released in a multiplayer game,
yeah, it's kind of.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. You probably shouldn't do that. And if you do it on another copy that they can't yank from you or something. Like have your data mine copy versus your play copy, so the files you don't lose your progress or something.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it is cosmetics. I'm not like a big thing of cosmetics or whatever. Sorry. If you do a mod that mods cosmetics, however, this is one of those games where you modding your cosmetics is kind of shown to everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But what do you think about Grum's response here? Because he said it was disproportionate reaction.
This is harsh and disproportionate response. They aren't hurting the game or anyone. You're stealing your game back from paying customers, blocking them forever, just because they looked at the Xmas gift a little early. Well, they shouldn't have looked at their Christmas gift a little early.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if my kids went and snuck a peek and I saw that they snuck a peek and they know exactly what they're getting, they're not getting it now. The whole point to Christmas at that point was the surprise of the present. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I kind of get it, and it kind of ruins the
whole thing. It's one thing to data mine and go, oh, hey, they're adding in Devil Joe, and there's Devil Joe armor in the files.
They're adding Beautiful Joe,
and it's going to be great. It's another to go in and then plug those files out, attach the textures to a thing, mod it into the game for the whole world to see 6 weeks early.
Yeah.
That there actually affects Capcom's fanfare on the whole reveal in 3 weeks when they go, oh, by the way, yeah, I think this is just fine.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm indifferent about it because honestly, Monster Hunter's never been my jam. I do like World though, or not World,
Wilds.
I mean, I think I liked World too, or no, Rise. I liked them all. They were all right. I think Wilds is my favorite though.
Oh yeah, Wilds definitely is my favorite. But yeah, I hate that Capcom is on this whole anti-modding thing because they are. They got all upset, especially after that one incident that
good girl
was beyond their control. But also shouldn't have been should have been on the events to catch.
I don't Capcom.
Know. Do what?
I don't know what you're talking about. So
there was an event. I think it was Street Fighter. It was a tournament, and somebody used their modded system.
Oh yeah,
with their modded Naked Chun-Li or Naked Yami or something like that model, and it was broadcast. Because nobody was like, do you have mods installed? Maybe we should turn those off before we do the thing,
Yeah.
Capcom got really upset, and then they immediately went after modding everywhere on any of their games. Single player, multiplayer, didn't matter. They were just highly upset, and I think they're overreaching when it comes to a lot of that stuff, but this one is kind of like one of those gray things. But again, it's also one of those things that can hurt Capcom. If you're showing off something that's not in the game yet, it's one thing to data mine Devil Joe's coming, guys. Devil Joe's coming. We got armor and stuff. We see it in the files. It's another thing to show off Devil Joe, to show off the turf war between him and Rathalos or something, to show off the armor, to show off the weapons. It's a bit different there.
Yeah.
Because now when they do their reveal in, say, 3 weeks,
it's not going to be as
already solved, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I get it. Anyway.
Speaking of Monster Hunter Wilds, I saw that that it's got overwhelmingly negative reviews in the most recent past.
Yeah, I saw something about that earlier today too. I haven't looked into it yet.
I was gonna ask if anybody knew what was up with that.
Not a clue.
I mean, I've got it up right now, and right now it's 18% of the 9,200 users in the last 30 days are positive. So that means that 82% are negative right now.
Well, from what I read, I glanced at the responses, and everybody hates the kid.
Well, I mean, let's see.
been a
One person
thing
saying
since
that the
the start.
game, like at 528, it looks like they did some sort of update or something like that and bricked the game for this guy. Other people are saying it's just not working.
Let's see. All right, I got this up. Game will no longer boot up.
Yeah, that's the one I
Oh
saw.
wow. Tried reinstalling, deleting. Okay. Leaving
And then
their
this one.
goal fixes their ship. The game itself is amazing, but I don't recommend it on PC at the moment. Capcom released another unfinished mess of the game. This time, overwhelming. Few hours made me feel okay. That's just somebody who doesn't like playing it. Okay, Monster Hunter WoW's way too short. That's not helpful. Unfinished, unpolished, underwhelming.
This person recommended it but said game is great, but the kid whose story we follow is not good at all.
Even after months, several reports with full system info, my game still crashes frequency. Okay, so it seems like, from what I can guess, whatever the recent update was, fucked over the PC again.
Yeah, sadly, games
Which is
stopped
a shame.
working for me. Horrible optimization on essentially every system. 4 months and still not fixed. Gameplay is extremely fun, but the game runs terribly, and Capcom have done nothing to improve it.
See, I take exception to that because I got a mid-range system. I do not have a high-range system by most metrics, and it ran fine for me. And a lot of people that were bitching and moaning about the optimization literally just didn't understand that their computer either wasn't powerful enough or they didn't know how to change things called video settings.
Yeah, I think that there's something that just happened though. That's got to be what happened because it was positive and now it's gone negative.
Yeah, I think something did happen, and
I mean, I concur with Chad on that one too, because I guess mine's technically a mid-range spec PC nowadays.
There aren't
outside of it taking some time to load up and everything shows me what it would look like on a PS1 for 30 seconds.
But do you think that there are this many people that are this stupid?
Yes.
But also, it does seem like that something recently broke. So
yeah, something recently broke to cause this. Yeah. But as far as people being that stupid, 100%. I worked in tech support. It is impressive the stupidity of humanity when it comes to computers. Even those who are tech savvy, which trust me, you're not. You just think you are because you took
You're surrounded by people who know less.
Yeah.
Well, so what I'm saying though is that then in that case, you would see this kind of reaction for more games than just this game.
We do.
Well,
we do.
I mean, it really shot up with the negativity in the past 30 days.
Yeah, but that's probably because of a mod that broke a patch that broke the game from the sounds of it. It has nothing to do with the initial runs like garbage optimization. It's no, it's not loading. It's crashing.
It could be both. Different. I mean, I think it could be both. It could be that it's not very well optimized, and also, what it can run if you just adjust your system, but it's not optimized. Just like we were talking about with Unreal and with whatever that other system was. A lot of these are not optimized at all. And, it's just got a lot of fluffing and they could have fixed that and they did not. Because there are plenty of games out there that have graphics that are this high and there aren't that many complaints about it being absolute the worst thing ever. We're used to it at this point. We're used to badly optimized games because it's just, that's how people are so comfortable with the word at this point.
So June 19th, June 20th is when it really tanked.
Yeah, so I don't... Let's see. Cons, stability, performance. This game has massive performance and stability issues. I have a top tier 4090 in all, and I would experience visual bugs and glitches. Drop frames during certain areas or actions. Overall, just not a super smooth experience the entire time. So this is a guy that I actually follow and watch him play games. He was saying that overall it was very good, but he was saying, and I know he has a very good machine, And
Yeah, but
he's saying that it had moments of bugginess. So in a top tier machine, it had moments of bugginess. Then that means that you have to drop off a whole lot to make it good. And it should start off with at least the option to run on a mid machine, and if you want to bump it up, then you should. It sounds ridiculous that you have to be like a tech genius if you don't have,
not so
something that a tech genius has, or
here's
be above average. So if you're saying that the average is stupid, that's fine, but that's the average person.
no.
I mean,
here's the thing. Here's what happened when this first came out, and me and Zio are rolling their eyes. The first thing that happened, literally like first day, roughly, it was like day one. There was no day one patch or nothing like that. It's not that. There might have been a day one patch, but not that I can recall.
Okay, so it might be just purely due to the performance issues.
Okay.
Listen, I have been looking and looking and looking, right?
Yeah.
And outside of that one that talked about how they haven't been able to launch the game since this one day, which made me think maybe it was some kind of patch, I think this is actually a concerted effort by the Monster Hunter fandom to get them to fix the performance issues that have been present since day one. Because it does have performance issues, but it can be largely mitigated by changing your settings and stuff,
or
fixing things here and there.
Or what I was about to say, where when it first came out, remember that they came out with a driver for NVIDIA.
Yeah, and fixing or updating your drivers and stuff. For the most part, but it does have some issues. Like I said earlier, I know what Monster Hunter Wilds looks like on a PS1 because every time I load into it, the last few times I have loaded into it, it takes it about 30 seconds to catch up with me and load in all the textures.
Yeah.
So, it does look like that this is a review bomb that is a legit review bombing to get Capcom's attention to fix the PC ports issues.
And I'm not going to blame this on the drivers.
I'm only coming to that conclusion because I had to ask AI why, because there's no definitive anything in any of this stuff outside of everybody constantly talking about performance. And I guess everybody got tired of it. And the AI pretty much is confirming that at this point. Saying that they haven't actually they've been pumping out content but not doing a single thing for the performance side of the game.
Ooh, okay, yeah. And the
which
more
has
content,
pissed off everybody.
Yeah, the more content, that's a Jenga puzzle, right? That's a Jenga tower waiting to fall if they're not keeping up with optimization. The reason I brought up, like, are people really that serious? Because when the day one, they told everybody, make sure you update your NVIDIA drivers, and nobody did. And then they started bitching about performance, which is why usually when it came to this game in particular, I tend to roll my eyes because I'm like, did you update your drivers? Well, no. It was like, well, then you're a retard.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it that people are silly and stupid, and it's unfortunate for Capcom in this situation that a driver update came along when a lot of people don't really know what a driver update is. But it seems that it's had optimization issues that persist even for those,
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, okay, never mind about the driver, because by now,
I can
probably done
concur with Chad on that one. It's like once my thing boots up and everything is good and everything, and is giving it a minute to actually do it, we're I'm fine for the most part. I don't really have any performance issues. I don't have frame rate drops that everybody else complains about. All this other stuff, except for I think twice the whole time we had played it, I actually experienced a sudden drop to 2 frames a second, and then it came back up. But that was within how many hours did we play that game?
A lot. I had every problem that everybody mentioned when I first started because I didn't know about the driver update. And then the moment somebody said the driver update, I immediately went and, there was an update for my drivers. Downloaded it, and it ran smooth as butter. Huh?
I'm somebody.
Okay, yep.
He wants his credit, dang it.
I'll text you hi.
Okay.
But no, yeah. After Zio told me, there was an update, I got
about
the
80 hours. Okay. I played it for about 80 hours. I had it happen twice.
Now, I have ran into graphical glitches where, like, the ground came up and I couldn't see my character because there's a graphical glitch.
And then there was that one. That's right. I forgot about that. For whatever reason, it only affects that one area.
That one area, the desert in the first.
And it is so annoying for whatever reason. And it comes up and it looks like you're standing in mud the whole time.
Yeah.
Outside of that. No, but
it does affect gameplay though, so
it does look like this is a concerted review bombing to get Capcom's attention to fix and optimize the PC board of stuff.
Which I'm okay with, because honestly, one thing, the game itself should have directed you to update your graphics card, and it didn't. Like, that's a common practice now, that the game will check your graphics card and be like, oh, your driver is out of date. You need to update. Here's a link.
Yeah.
Most games do that. Even indie games do that. Capcom has no reason why they couldn't redirect people who had NVIDIA.
I had no idea that they do that.
Yeah, a lot of games
I must
do
keep
that.
my shit up to date, so I've never seen that. It's very rare for me to have ever seen that splash screen.
Yeah, I've seen it several times.
So I haven't
not on
thought
mine.
about it.
Not on mine,
anyway.
but on Joe's.
But yeah, other people have clearly had much worse times with the game than I have. But yeah, mine's probably a mid-range spec PC at this point because of the advancements of things and me not updating it.
Yeah. I think a good idea for a lot of these game companies, though, would be to run spec checks on computers, because there is such a disparity in what your computer can and cannot run. Not everybody knows how to fix that. There's so many people who just don't understand what will make a game crash and what won't. And saying, look, this is what's recommended for your system. This is these are the settings. This is what you should do. And if you have drivers that are out of date, that would affect it, to do that, because otherwise you get something like this. Also, I think the game is not optimized, but yeah, I think that would probably just be a good idea in general for a lot of these gaming companies, especially the large ones going forward.
To leave out on.
Yeah, it's like almost 7:30. I'm surprised Zio is not a pumpkin, but I actually do have to go and pick up my niece and nephew.
I was actually shocked about this. Audio, dude, audio. It's muted.
Yeah.
Well, restart it.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out how to drop the dang thing and bring it up. I keep clicking the wrong thing.
Well, he's going to ruin it if he's going to play it midway through. All right.
Why would you put Jello in a shredder?
That's why.
And with that note, this is the beginning of the Side Assault. I am Zio. Over there is Chad. Over there is Meg. They do things. Their links are in the description down below, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Where's that outro again?